Hello everyone, Shadefire here, and today I'm taking a first impressions look at Darksiders 2, the Deathinitive edition, which I'm not sure if that's better or a worse sort of re-release name than the War Mastered edition.
This is the tale thus far. The cauldron was cold, but the horsemen rekindled its fire. And in the hearts of the makers, an ember of hope was born. Hope for life, and for what lies beneath the earth.
So, as I mentioned back when I was doing the Darksiders War Mastered edition, I was replaying through that game because I had nearly finished it before, and turns out the point I had stopped at was basically just the big fetch quests they make you do right before the final fight. So I went through and I actually finished it this time, but with Darksiders 2 here, I've never played it before, so this is my first time through, so it's a little bit more unfamiliar to me. And it's so far a very different sort of game with also being the same sort of game, as weird as that is. It's more complex. For example, there's actual weapon loot. Actually, let's just get in here. So, if you get in here, you actually have an inventory. You pick up loot with, various rarities and special stat changes and stuff. So it's much more of an RPG than just the sort of 4 weapons that you level up through use in the first game. You also have your skill tree, which, again, kind of affects your magic abilities. The magic abilities still don't seem super useful here, because, in the first game there wasn't really any of them that were super good, though I did find myself using the one that gave you both damage resistance and extra damage at the same time while it was active. That one seemed pretty handy overall, because some of the things in that game did a lot of damage even when you had a lot of health. You'd have like 8 health bars worth of health, and then one attack would take off half of that from some of the later bosses and sub-bosses. But yeah, so there's a bunch of abilities in here, and I assume as that Reaper gauge goes up on the left there, as you acquire more skills, you'll unlock something special at those marked points. So far I don't have the sort of Wrath ability. War would turn into like a Balrog, and Death here basically just turns into more of a Grim Reaper than his normal form here. Oh, also there's, in addition to collecting weapon loot, there is actually armor loot, and it does change the way you look, which is nice, because the first game only had one kind of armor set you could collect towards the end that would change the way War looked, but here you actually do change on the fly, and I always appreciate equipment that is visibly, changing your character, which still is not a guarantee with these sorts of games. Sometimes it's just numbers going up. Anyhow, to the kind of specifics here. Death is a much kind of faster character than War, which, that was kind of what they were going for here. He's more of a animalistic character, so right off the bat, instead of having War's sort of like dash, which wasn't actually very good for dodging easily, you just have a straight up dodge. And it's even got a sort of dodge cooldown, as you saw there. If you do it 3 times in a row, you can't do anything for a second afterwards, kind of like Bayonetta or the Crystal Dynamics Tomb Raiders. So I've done the first kind of main dungeon here. Oh, I guess the setup is a little confusing, because I guess this isn't really a sequel to the first game. This sort of takes place between the prologue of the first game and the rest of the first game. So humanity's been wiped out, War is imprisoned by the Council for the next 100 years, and Death here is trying to free him from that imprisonment by finding a way to restore humanity from being extinct. Fix the balance and all that. So I've been transported here to some other world, and it kind of sounds like you'll be traveling to multiple worlds throughout the game to, kind of pursue that quest by finding the Tree of Life there in the background. And to do that, right now I have to do these 2 dungeons to get this forge thing working so they can fight the corruption. These people here, the Ancients, or whatever they are. Which I think it's neat that they have these guys reappearing, because there was one of these Ancients in the first game, and there wasn't really an explanation of what that meant or who he was, so it's nice that they kind of expanded on that. Anyhow, let's actually get out towards the next dungeon, because basically I turned on the lava flow to to their sacred forge, and now I have to turn on the water flow to quench that forge. So where am I going here? Also, this game has side quests, as you can see there. I think I need to go this way. As for weapons, you have your double scythes here. I don't know if you ever get another one of those, because so far I've only found better and better versions of these two scythes. And then your secondary is where you get a bit more variety, because you can equip hammers and spears and claws. So far I've just kind of been equipping the one that does the most damage. Okay, yeah, this is the right way to go. You can see our bird fella there, who will show us where to go. And here's the mountain. Speak to Karn. Where was Karn again? Set active. I guess we're going the right way. Also, another way that he's much more mobile is, as you can see, he can run up walls, whereas War would have to double jump to do anything like that. Though, oddly, there are some abilities that Death here doesn't have that would make sense for him to be more mobile. Like, for example, the double jump. You don't have a double jump, you don't have a glide. Though again, these might be things you get later on, but for now, it doesn't seem to be the case. So I need to get over there. Oh, not the wall run, I need to wall up. The other big one is when you're climbing across like a viney surface. In the first game, you could hold the bumper to climb faster, but for some reason, Death can't do that. And he climbs at kind of the same speed as War would. Alright, yeah, this is the right way. So there's the entrance to the Tree of Life. You can see there's a giant eyeball monster in the way, and there's nothing I can do about that right now. Being a horseman of the apocalypse, he also has his own horse. I forget the name of this horse. It's not Ruin, because that was the other one. But the horse pretty much controls exactly the same. You can attack while you're on it. You can dash. You can jump, though I don't know you'd ever need to. And I just got this gun when I finished the other dungeon, which is weird because just like the one you get in the first game, this apparently belongs to Strife, who is one of the Four Horsemen in this universe. So, how does Strife keep losing all of their guns? Oop. Little framiness there. Alright, that's the guy I need to talk to.
We tried to seal in the corruption, but no good came of it.
Also, in this game, you have actual dialogue, whereas in the first game, War would just kind of grump at whoever you encountered, and that was all. There was no options.
What can you tell me about the Tears of the Mountain?
The Drench Fort lies just beyond this barrier. It was the first thing taken by corruption. We sealed the Stonefather's tears inside, fearing what would happen if they spread.
If I do as Alia asks, you'll soon find out.
Aye, and the realm will be better for it. Whether pure as rain or black as sin, the tears will end this stalemate.
It's odd how I often find you standing.
Without the Tree of Life, Horseman, I'm trapped here just like you. A fortunate few slipped out before the tree was lost, like Ulthane. If you're really going,
yeah, there's
don't let me
Ulthane, the guy in
you.
the first game.
Exploring's a wondrous thing. You never know what you might find. For instance, should a bit of armor turn up, it's likely some, misplaced some years back. If you can find it, I'll be in your debt.
And who is Ulthane?
He's just another maker. Has a big hammer is all. When he escaped, I feared to follow. And a good thing, too.
And why is that?
Well, you might still be looking for the cauldron if not for my courage and wit.
And Ulthane ended up on Earth, where he later makes stuff for War. Alright. I need to blow this up. But first, a collectible.
Run along, rider. I'll rest a bit.
There definitely also seems to be a lot more places you can use your horse in this. Charming place this is. All dead. But I guess we kind of fit in here. Alright, that's it. Enemies here. Also, you can tell it's more of an RPG because there's damage numbers. And health bars. I mean, this hammer is pretty powerful, but honestly, it doesn't flow with your combos very well. That said, it seems like the charge attacks on your secondary are usually pretty good, and you can get them very quick, just like that. So those definitely seem to be the best way to use these weapons. I think the gun just reloads over time. Yeah, it just kind of popped up again. It's not infinite like War's gun. Oh, I have to kill this nest, don't I? I should be using my necromancy skill. That's the end of that nest. Another thing that's different is that you actually do have to heal yourself. You don't really have as many health drops from enemies, which you kind of had to depend on in the first game. Either health drops from enemies or chests. Defense up, so I just straight up use those. We don't have a local map yet, so before we go in the direction it wants me to go, let's go look over here. I think one of the biggest problems I had replaying through Darksiders was just that as you got further in, it definitely started to feel more and more repetitive because you didn't really have that many moves for any of your weapons. I mean, I kind of hold Devil May Cry 3 as the gold standard for number of, you know, abilities for your various weapons. I'm trying to remember how to dive. I thought it was B, but maybe I can't dive here. But yeah, Devil May Cry 3 definitely has probably the most weapon variety in, or rather abilities in attack variety. So much so that when Dante was added to Marvel vs. Capcom 3, people were mad because he had so many moves that they couldn't, you know, memorize them and thus know how to counter them. You know, they couldn't know how to expect what a Dante player was going to do because they tried to include so many of his moves into the move list. Chest under here. Alright, just some money. What's this? This looks like I might have to fight. Well, I can't get there from here. So I'll have to circle around. Alright, can't get anywhere from up here. I may have to actually look at how to dive because I cannot remember for the life of me.
This is no place for a horse.
Ah, boy. You think that would be something that's easy to remember? Audio. Can I not look up the controls when I'm in-game? That would be a little silly. Tutorials. You know, it actually might be in my tutorial list if that's still kicking around somewhere. Move list. That's not what I want. Now there's despair. There we go. You have to hold Y. If you just press Y, it doesn't do anything. That's weird. I mean, I guess when you're underwater, you can't do heavy attacks, so might as well use the button for something. Alright. Well, these guys are still my level, so I don't have to worry about them being too tough or anything. That wasn't too difficult. Alright, so... this is apparently a door behind all this goop. But I would need some kind of explosive to destroy that, which I can get up there. How do I get up there? That leads down. And this leads somewhere else. I like how I immediately got distracted from going to the next dungeon. Right, I forgot too that I can kind of do the back and forth thing. I can't look up any further with the camera, so I don't know how to get up there. Okay, so this is here in case you fall. So I must need to do something to get up there. I could probably wall run, actually. Oop, I didn't jump quick enough. I don't know if you can go from wall run to wall run, though. That's not something I've had to do yet, but I guess you can. Oh, boy. Alright. And what is up here? I guess we just go up here. Easy enough. There better be something good at the end of this trail. Okay. I could probably just knock them right back off. Okay, he just phased into the wall. That's great. Now, how do I get over there? Okay, I can get back up if I fall. Kinda looks like I need a wall run as well. I wonder if there's an ability I don't have here that I need to pull that to me. Because, yeah, it doesn't look like there's any way to just run across to it. Oh, or I could just get up the side. So we take this, pop it over there. Shoot the one that respawned. This should hopefully lead us to the other explosive we needed. Or a lever. Okay, so we just need to make our way across without screwing up. Voila. Now we can obtain our treasure. Or fight a boss? Not a boss, but just a tough enemy. I also have that teleport slash, which gives me a bit of health back. Go get him, zombuddies. That wasn't too hard. I played through the first kind of prologue dungeon before I found that it was a little too easy, so I turned the difficulty up to the next notch. I think I've only died once so far. Okay, so defense down, don't need that, but I'll pick it up so I can sell it. I actually think I have something I can equip now that I leveled up to... I think I got a piece of armor from one of the NPCs. Dark Avenger. Damage fast. I'll try this. I got this from, I think, beating a boss, and I was too low level to use it, so let's try it now. I guess these yellow ones are kind of unique treasures, rather than just, you know, randomly leveled ones. And this was the other one I got, the Pauldron of the Horsemen. Just making sure all my stuff is top. So what do I get for all that? I'm actually curious if this is going to be something I needed in this chest for the dungeon, and it would have told me to come here if I hadn't come here anyway. You know, like, oh, I can't get past this point. I guess I better go get so-and-so. No, we're not done just yet. Alright, what is this thing I got? Oh, it's a type of claws. And it looks like the heavy attack is actually a block. Not a very good one. You can also upgrade the things you summon, so they won't always be these crappy zombies. Well, these claws are pretty good. Though it seems weird to me to have 2 fast weapons equipped instead of 1 fast, 1 heavy. Did a lot of damage. Yeah, you saw the Reaper form there for a second. You still don't have a lot of invincibility in your rolls, so if you roll towards them, you're still going to take damage like I did there. Ooh, that was a little tough. This does more damage. Obviously it does more damage per hit than my claws, but does it do better DPS? I'll just pick it up for now. Better armor is worth equipping. And Scythes of Frost, which do the same damage, but they also do a little bit of frost, so we'll take those. I do like that there's a bunch of different Scythe models, that they're all much the same ones, slightly recolored. Okay, so we're gonna do another run here. Oh, what did I do? Did I just equipped like my worst ones? Whoops. I'm out of health potions, which is not great, since I don't have a good way to restore them. Do I have any skill points to spend? I have 1 skill point. That seems like a cool thing to have. Now, no, okay, so I have to equip that if I want to use it. I'm trying to remember how to equip those. Skills. I don't remember how to assign skills. Can you tell it's been about a week since or I guess almost 2 weeks since I started this game? I've been a little distracted playing Doom lately, so I haven't really returned to this as much.
have to go alone.
Oh well. I'll figure it out later. Really? I can't just run up here? Okay, barrier here. Nope. I actually didn't need to jump there. So we go up here, we go here. Slide along the wall, jump, slide along the wall, and hold it. And then from here, just drop down. And again. Nope, don't go up. And this is blocked as well. Okay, that's where I need to get to. How do I get there from here? You're not really helping, bird. Okay, I don't think being up here is where I need to be just yet. Need to get up there. And it looks like I might have to go underneath through the water. Alright, down we go. I should be able to climb back up behind that bomb I need. Or just fall, that works too. Need to go this way, slide along the wall. No, I need to jump is what I need to do. It's these tight spaces where the camera kind of misbehaves because it doesn't pull into the wall. So, like, at this distance, I can't move the camera any further to look behind me. No, I don't want to roll in the wall, I want to jump. Which is my fault, because I think I have to hold left bumper to jump backwards, like that. Yeah, there we go. And there's our bomb. Toss it over there, there's probably another bomb on that side. Nope. So then I should be able to pick this up, hop down, and chuck it up there, or there. Crap. Thought he'd be able to throw with a little bit more oomph. Though I might not be able to stick it from here. Oh. Well, shit. I think I'll just come back to that later, on my own time. It just looks like there's another chest back there. Hopefully that chest was not the chest with the key. Another frost axe. Right, can't really take damage here. And I took damage. Let's see where it puts us at. Actually, you know, this seems like a good spot to show off. Damn it, I did it again. To show off one of the handy features. If we go to the overworld map and we go back to Tristone here, you can fast travel and it will leave like a scroll of town portal sort of thing, so that we can kind of warp back to the dungeon exactly where we left off. I just want to go back to the town here and fill up on potions. I don't really know what this thing does. It's like some sort of mystical email system, but nothing's ever popped up in it.
What brings you before? Alice has been busy. There are new items.
I think she just sells like armor and weapons. Who I actually need to talk to is Volgrim, the merchant from the first game, who serves a purpose here as well. I'm just trying to remember where I can... Nope, I'm not going to equip that scythe again. I'm trying to remember where you can access him. Armored weapons, serpent tome... I've only seen him show up once, I think. Cauldron, Scar, Weeping Crag, general items. Okay, so that is where Volgrim is. Now, I'm worried if I fast travel there, I'll lose my dungeon fast travel. Foundry, Serpent Tome, Trainer. I'm pretty sure when you fast travel back, you leave like a warp point that you just walk into to get back to where you were, but I didn't read that message that popped up when I fast traveled, so it might have been because I wasn't in one of the main dungeons. It didn't actually leave a marker. Because otherwise there should be a fast travel marker on my map here. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Still, all the doors and everything will still be open. But, I guess let's go see Volgrim and then we'll end it here, since that... I think we still saw all the elements of what this game is. Platforming, fighting enemies, collecting loot. Can I fast travel directly here?
Come closer. See what Volgrim had. Fresh merchandise.
He also sells random loot boxes. and you can see that they cost gold and those tokens that I picked up. Does he not sell potions either? Does nobody sell potions? I could have sworn he did. Well, shit, I guess I'm just potionless for now. The only other merchant... I think she only sells trinkets, but I could be wrong. Having a fast travel is really handy because, I mean, like I mentioned, in the first game, there's this big fetch quest that really kills the pacing in near the end, where you just have to revisit all these different places you've already been, but couldn't access the items you need because you didn't have the shadow mask. So having a fast travel there would have been nice, but instead you had these weird, like, point-to-point
You
warps.
have touched the darkness. What was old is new again.
Oh, she sells health potions. And they're expensive as fuck, Jesus. I guess that'll teach me to take damage.
I will offer this to the forest.
Still, if I actually sell all the shit I'm
I will
carrying,
make use of it.
afford it better, I guess.
My thanks.
Yeah, okay, that's a lot better. Now I can actually afford potions. Wait, why was one of them more expensive? Oh, I sold... God damn it. I sold my health potion. I'm like, wow, it's so much cheaper now. Fucking idiot.
I would not burden you, horseman.
And you can only carry 5 at once. That might increase later, I'm not sure. Alright, well, I think that's a pretty good sort of little look at what Darksiders 2 is so far. I'm enjoying it, and I think it'll probably have a bit more variety than the first game had in the end. But, yeah, I've been Shadefire, this is Darksiders 2, Deathinitive Edition, and I hope you'll join me next time with some more demon-slaying, world-hopping type fun. Until then, you folks all take care.